Hello everyone, it's April Garwood from Banana Moon Studio. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet my Calera Cowl, which is a striped cowl made in a bulky weight yarn. So to begin with, you're going to need two contrasting colors of bulky weight. This is the yarn that I've used. You can find more details about the yarn that I'm using in the free written pattern available on my website. The link to that written pattern is in the description for this video. So we are going to need the two colors of bulky weight yarn. I'm using a 7mm crochet hook. This particular crochet hook is labeled as an L. A lot of L crochet hooks are 8mm. If you can't find a 7mm crochet hook, you can either go down to a K, which is a 6.5mm, or you can go up to an 8mm hook, which might also be labeled as an L. And then you're also going to need at least one locking stitch marker. We're going to start with color A. This is the one that I've chosen as my color A, just probably the lighter of your two colors. It won't really matter that much which one you choose as color A. And we're going to start by creating a slip knot. And in the pattern, it tells us to chain 103. For this demonstration, I'm going to make my chain a lot shorter because I can teach you the techniques you need to know without making it that big. So I'm going to chain. I finished the chain that I'm going to use for this demonstration. And now I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from my hook. I like to work in these bottom ridge loops because it leaves the bottom edge looking nice. So I'm going to turn it over and skip this one and go into the second one. And then I'll single crochet in the next chain. And then I'm going to half double crochet in each remaining chain. Now I have finished all of the half double crochet stitches, so I am going to remove this loop from my hook and place a locking stitch marker in it to make sure that this doesn't come unraveled, and I'm going to set that aside while I do this next part. Now I'm going to take my color B. This is actually a really dark purple. I know it looks black here. And I'm going to make a slip knot and leave your beginning tails pretty long, like extra long, because you're going to need those at the end to sew up some gaps in the bottom edge. And I'm going to chain 9. And again, I'm going to turn it over and work through the bottom ridge loop. So I'm going to skip the first chain and go into the second one and single crochet here and in the next one. And then I'm going to half double crochet in each remaining chain. Now at this point I have finished crocheting in all the chains in my color B. So now I'm going to come back to this first piece that I made, and I'm going to yarn over and half double crochet in the first stitch from my first piece. And in each remaining stitch. Now I have finished stitching across in all of the color A stitches, so you can see how this looks. There is a little gap here, and that's why I said you're going to want this end long. You're going to use that to sew this gap shut at the end. But at this point, what we want to do is take our hook out of this loop, and we can take the stitch marker from here and just move it into this loop to keep it from unraveling. Now our hook is going to go in this loop from color A, And we're going to bring the ends of our piece together, making sure that we haven't twisted it. And with color A, things get a little tingly. All right, now with color A, we're going to yarn over and half double crochet in this first stitch of color B. And in each stitch around. And again, at the end, you're going to be using this end to close this gap. So what I'm working on right now is the third row or round of my cowl. The first row was when we made this light purple piece. The second row is where we started with the dark purple and then stitched across here. And now this light purple section is round 3. Round 3 ends here where we've now stitched into the last of the color B stitches. So to begin round 4, we switch our hook and our stitch marker. Hook here, and we just are going to take a minute and untwist things. And then we half double crochet in every stitch around until we come back to the stitch marker, and then we switch colors and half double crochet in every stitch around. So that is how every round of this cowl goes from here until we get to the very end. So when I get to the end of this round, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you'll do when you have finished crocheting all the rounds of the cowl. Now I have finished this round. So as you're working on this, you may be wondering how to count rows. So this piece down here, this was our first row. So we know that we can count up from here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So at this point, I've completed 4 rounds. When you're working on this cowl, you're going to work in pattern for a total of 38 rounds. For the final round, what we want to do is go ahead and switch our stitch marker into this loop and put our hook in this loop, and we're going to half double crochet in the next 8 stitches. And then you will single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Slip stitch in the next stitch and fasten off this color. Then you're going to come back to this one and you will single crochet in 3 stitches, slip stitch in the next stitch, and fasten off this color. And then you're going to use a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends and also for sewing the bottom. So you'll put a tapestry needle on this and then stitch through the chain at the bottom of this first stitch. Kind of go through a couple of times and then weave it in on the back. You'll repeat that here at this gap to close it, and then just weave in these ends at the top. And that is everything that you need to know to crochet my Calera Cowl. I hope that all of you have a lovely day. Remember, you can find the free written pattern for this cowl on my website at the link in the description for this video. Thanks.